What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 2 of The Rise of a Nation, here with FC Edmonton in the Canadian Premier League. Hopefully you guys are doing great. If you missed the first episode of this series, make sure to go check it out. It was uploaded yesterday. Today, we're going to do a bit more of a further introduction to the squad, talk a little bit more about what went on in pre-season, and following on from that, we are going to have a live com double header, 2 matches coming your way today. So sit down, get comfortable, and if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on it. So yes, there's first and foremost, start with an apology. We always have to start with these, it feels like. But basically, last episode, I referred to FC Edmonton as Edmonton FC, and I realised that for most people, they probably don't care about it, but it is a crucial difference because every other team in the league is called club name FC. FC Edmonton is the difference. They are the odd one out, so to say. They're unique in that regard, and it's going to be a mistake that I have no doubt I will make again. But I feel my media team have told me that I should issue an apology to you guys, the fans, for getting that wrong. I don't want to do what some of the One Soccer pundits do over on Canadian TV and can repeatedly get it wrong. FC Edmonton is the team name. Every time I get it wrong, call me out for it in the comments. We'll get there in the end. It's a bad habit to be addressed. You can see here, since we last were here, we actually played a game and it was a loss. And it was against One Pacific FC. And, it was a tight game for a lot of it. And it ended up finishing 3-2, as you can see. A real back and forth affair. Nakajima Farron, to be honest, was just the thorn in my side. He was out on the right wing for them. I think he might even be top goal scorer in the league. And it felt like every time we got a goal, they immediately replied. And we just couldn't really find a breakthrough. I guess the silver lining in this game was the fact that Mohamed Diallo, a player who we didn't talk about last episode, stepped up big for us. He grabbed both of our goals in this game. And for this match, I did rotate the team quite a lot. Going into it, we did need to just rotate things around. It was only 2 or 3 days after the first game of the season. I want to give my whole squad a chance to impress before we truly settle on, our best starting 11. You can see on screen here Mohamed Diallo. He is an exceptional player, 21 years young. Just a very, very good striker. He's really rated up there, actually, as one of our best strikers in the team. He joined us on a free transfer, obviously 2 goals on his debut. We will hope that he is going to come good for us here. You will note the fact it says that he has 2 appearances. Of course, he didn't play in the first game of the season. The reason for that is the fact that our under-21s team actually play in a professional men's league. So those stats are kind of clumped together. So if we just look at things, if we look at the under-21s and then their league, they take on Pacific FC in their next match. And actually, if we go to fixtures here, this is probably a better way to do it. And we go to the Alberta Major League Soccer. You can kind of see how our under-21s are getting on here. They've won their first 2 games. And this is definitely going to be a focus for us. There's a few players here who I'll draw your attention to. Players like David Doe, a player who is at the club in real life, an exceptional young forward. Keep an eye out for him in the next few years. And perhaps our best player in our youth team at the moment is this guy, Kevin Deshays. He is from the FC Edmonton Academy. He generated there at the start of the game. He looks like a really, really good playmaker. He's only 16, so we're going to keep him in the under-21s for now. But with the rules in this league, meaning that you can only have a 23-man squad, and the fact that players who are 18 or younger at the start of the season don't have to be registered, you can perhaps expect to see him in the first team come the end of the season. But anyway, this is the team that we have, and it's the team that we've been working with. Of course, over pre-season, I did make a few signings. There was some last episode that I didn't talk about, as well as a few players. So we'll go through some of the players we didn't talk about previously. Amar Didic is a player who plays for Edmonton in real life, an exceptional centre-back, only 24 years young, very, very good in the air, very, very good in the air. In fact, for this level, you can see here, 15 jumping reach, 13 heading. He's a good little centre-back. Expect to see him in and out of the team. Of course, with us playing 3 centre-backs, there's definitely going to be rotation needed. We then have Jonathan Valet. He is the only player we signed for money during the transfer window. You can see here we signed him from Gatineau. I hope that's correct. He's a player from the Montreal Impact Academy. He has also played for Ottawa Fury's Academy. He's 24 years old and he looks like a pretty solid little centre mid. When I came to the club, centre midfield was a position that we were just lacking a little bit in, and he was one of 2 players we signed. The other player we signed is Pierre Lamotte, who is 21 years old, and he looks really good, to be honest. 13 passing, 12 vision, great work rate, great physicals on the whole. Expect to see him being our kind of backup advanced playmaker in our system, with Lincourt-Joseph starting the season well. I feel like he is going to be nailed on as our playmaker to start things off. But as the season goes on, expect Lamotte to definitely put up a fight for this position. And of course, Lincourt-Joseph is learning to play out on the left-hand side. If Lamotte can improve as much as I kind of hope he can, do not be surprised if we see him in the starting 11 by the end of the season, because he does look very, very good. Anyway, there's a few other players here. Asua is a player who I really, really rate, but unfortunately he's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a twisted ankle. So with an already small squad, having him injured is certainly not ideal. We have Cabra as well, who looks like a good little versatile winger, can play either side, a product of the academy. And we also have Omar Juk, who actually played in the game last time out against Pacific FC. You might have noticed him. He got an assist. He's a bit more of a creative forward, I guess you could say. There's a few cons about him, maybe a little bit of a cause for concern there, but he's a very, very versatile striker who can also play the centre attack in mid position that might be useful, you know, as we go through the year. So, of course, we are playing our 3-1-4-2, but there are a few backup systems that we do have. Just to go through the instructions, because I realised I didn't talk about these last time. With this 3-4-1-2, I do want us to be quite patient with our play. We're going to play out from the back. We've obviously got Ramon Soria, who is just an exceptional kind of ball-playing defender for this level. We're going to try and work the ball into the box as well. We've got players with pretty good passing at this level. At the moment, we're playing with passing directness on shorter and tempo on lower. I might up the tempo a little bit, just because we have quite a quick team and I wouldn't be against us trying to hit teams on the break and maybe moving the ball around a little bit quicker. You can see here we do play with counter and counter press. So when we win the ball, we do look to break away quickly. And that really plays into our team's strength when it comes to just raw pace. And then out of possession, we're going to play a high defensive line here. We don't have the slowest defence in the league by any means. I feel like with a defensive midfielder and 3 centre-backs, playing a high defensive line is really going to compress this area of the pitch. We're going to force teams to go out wide. And at least in Sorio, out on the left-hand side, we have a left midfielder who's very, very good defensively. Now, perhaps Edwin Ibonsu isn't of the same calibre defensively, but he's not completely useless. And we do have, obviously, other options out on the right-hand side who are more defensively orientated, such as Azua, who, despite his injury, I'm hoping that come the end of the year, he's going to be more comfortable playing right mid, which is where we're training the right back to play right now. And he could turn into a good little player for us. So, with that all said, let's just have a quick look at our other systems, just so you're aware of them. One of our systems is basically a more conventional 4-2-2-2 or a 4-2-4, I guess. It's kind of that roll of the dice, really positive attacking style of play, where perhaps we do still want to control the play, but we want to have a few men further up the pitch. The real reason I don't want to play fullbacks right now is that we don't have the best fullbacks, and a lot of our players who can play right back or left back are actually centre backs who are a bit more versatile in their positioning, which, well, is great that they're versatile, but it means they're not so great going forward. And I'm someone who is very, very keen to have quite attacking wing backs who do need to contribute going forward. The other system we've got is a familiar system to those of you who have watched the Leon Live series. It is the attacking variant of that, a very direct attacking style of play with wing backs, which we don't really have to play, but it's kind of a system that is the roll of the dice. If we really want to, mix things up, if nothing seems to be working and we need a goal desperately, it's what we might revert to. But at least to start the season, we're going to persist with this 3-1-4-2. I want to make it successful and I really want to see it shine. Now, I didn't talk about the team report last time out too much, but just so you can see it here, in terms of strength, dribbling, finishing, passing. I mean, that's a pretty good core 3, I feel like, of real strengths in the team that we have versus other teams in the league. Also, technically, we're very good. Our goalkeepers are solid, which is obviously great. We have great technique, good teamwork and work rate. That acceleration, again, to hit kind of on the counter. This all really plays into this kind of quite controlling style of play, particularly, I guess, the teamwork and passing and kind of the just technique and dribbling our players have. Defensively, obviously, at left wing-back and right wing-back, we don't have that strength in depth. It's not something I'm overly worried about. We do have, coverage in the kind of left-back and right-back position. Inevitably, when you're playing in a league where you only have 23 players in a squad, they're going to be gaps that you kind of need to fill. And that's something that we just kind of have to accept. Heading, we're not the best at. I feel like we're not terrible in the air, to be honest, defensively, but certainly in our midfield, we don't have the craziest, strength there, which is one of the reasons why I do want to hold on to the ball when we can. You can see stuff like decisions and position and anticipation, a lot of defensive stuff when you're out of possession of the ball, we're not the best in. And kind of with that all in mind, I'm really keen to, just hold on to the ball as best we can. I feel like that's something we've really got to try and abide to as a kind of club philosophy under my leadership. You can see here our determination isn't great, and that's actually a big concern of mine. If we just look at my squad view here, the team profile view, you can kind of see here the overall layout of the team, but what you can see here is our determination in our team. I really value determination, and the way that kind of some of these values are treated now, where determination is basically spread amongst your squad. Your more influential players, if they have better determination, that's going to be good. So that is our saving grace here, is that our more influential players are more determined. But just the way that FM kind of works now, especially with determination, is it can kind of spread through your squad. So if you had a lot of highly influential players with low determination, they would drag down the less influential, higher determination players. So I'm hoping that over the course of the year we will see a steady rise as the more influential players with better determination kind of inspire and rally the troops around them. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Anyway, I did want to talk about the staff and scouting, but I think I'm going to save that for next episode because I've already talked for long enough. As I said, today we have got 2 matches. The first game we're going to have is against Cavalry FC. This is in a game known as the Classico. Now, this game has actually been played, or has been played, yesterday in real life as you watch this video, although it is at Cavalry Stadium. So, we're going to either be trying to get retribution here, or I guess inflicting further misery onto Cavalry fans here by trying to get a win to mimic the Edmonton result in real life. This is the disadvantage with recording videos the day before they go live. You just sometimes aren't able to know these things, but this is the system we're going to play. Cavalry have a very good team. Carducci in goal is a very, very good goalkeeper. You can see here at 22 years old, he has a ton of potential to live up to. And then, looking higher at the pitch, you can see their highest average rating and top goal scorer is Malonga here, who is a Congolese player with 13 finishing, which at this level is great. He's good in the air. In fact, he's got very good physicals. I can kind of see why he's got 3 goals in his first 2 games of the year. However, we have obviously the 1 win and then that loss that you saw against Pacific earlier. We're going to be looking to, hopefully turn our home stadium into a bit of a fortress. That has definitely got to be the aim here today. We'll see how we get on. Now, in real life, FC Edmonton's pitch is a bit infamous because it's a artificial turf, but the ball zips really quickly off it, which can make a passing game difficult. We're not going to have this problem here. Thank God Football Manager isn't that realistic. And let's try and get something going here. Marcelin to Mortozzi. Tries to get it in the box. I should have mentioned, but our team for today's game is similar to the game that played the opening day of the season. The only exception is that I have decided to bring in Diallo after his 2 goals and give him a chance. And can I just say, what a tackle that was. I don't know who that was who put in that defensive tackle. Give them a medal. Such a brave challenge put in to stop the Cavalry attack. And, that's been the only chance of the game. We do now have a corner. Not the best ball into the box, but not fully cleared. Lincourt Joseph, he was a bit of a hero in our first game of the year. What can he do here? Tommy Amiobi had a headed opportunity there. Just the wrong side of the post, though. After half an hour, we've had 67% of the ball. I realise here, we should show the match stats, really, shouldn't we? Let's put them down in the bottom corner, so you can keep an eye on them. I did recently clear my cache in Football Manager. My game was getting really, really slow, so I cleared my preferences and cache, but that has reset some of my settings. So I'm still in the adapting phase. It's like when you move into a new house or rearrange your desk and not everything's quite where you want it to be yet. That's the current struggle I'm going through. But if you are playing FM19 and you are struggling with the game lagging a little bit, maybe it's slowed down over time, I do recommend clearing out your cache and preferences, as we have got a penalty. That did not look like a penalty. I'm not going to complain though. Kareem Moses, what can you do, my friend? I need a good goal from you if you can have it, Kareem. He steps up, he hits it. Great little penalty into the bottom left corner. I've just noticed we don't have half chances being shown. This is a disaster. And the woodwork. I need all my stats. It's like what makes me happy in life. But yeah, Kareem Moses, first goal of the season for him from the penalty spot. It's a little bit unusual, but we definitely lack penalty takers here at FC Edmonton. And Moses, who is our left centre-back, just so happens to be our best player when it comes to them. So, well, he's done the business there, and for as long as he keeps scoring penalties, he can definitely keep on them. Anyway, we're 1-0 up here in our Classico after the first half. I'm very, very happy. Maybe I'm praising the players a little bit too much here. Maybe complacency will start to set in, but I have to trust the mentality of my players here. You'd have to say, despite our dominance, we've not really created enough. We've had so much the ball, and we have had a fair few shots, but just not crafting out great clear-cut opportunities. Our only one of the half was the penalty itself, which of course came from Edwini Bonsu's run down the right-hand side. And while speaking of the devil, he's going to whip it in. Diallo's there, cleared away. Marcelin takes a touch, hits it. It's blocked away, but it's ping-ponging around at the edge of the area. Cavalry managed to just about hack the ball away in the end. Temguia now to Ramon Soria. What can he do here? He plays the ball forward. He picks out a pass. Edwini Bonsu whipping it in again. Diallo's there, takes a touch, and he scores his third of the season. Maybe we found a little hero in Mohamed Diallo. It's his third goal in, well, just 2 starts in the season thus far, perhaps justifying me giving him a chance. He shone and was the real standout player in the game against Pacific FC. And, well, he's done the business again here against Cavalry. We go 2 goals to the good. I have got to just keep a little eye on his condition. You can see he's at 79%. We have got a few players struggling, including Lincourt Joseph. But Soria and Diallo were both players who played the game midweek. So, yeah, we've got to keep an eye on them. They are the 2 players who could get tired here. As the ball falls to Mortozzi. I mean, what a goal that is. He's just absolutely sledgehammered that into the back of the net, Mortozzi. What a goal that is. Marcelin lays it across to him. And, well, the killing blow is just delivered there by Mortozzi. On his right foot, 1 touch to get it out of his feet. The second touch was the shot on goal. The keeper didn't even move. He was just completely bamboozled. Cavalry, at least in Football Manager, they're not the strongest team in the game. They're a team who, they look good, but they are certainly... they're not the best. In real life, they do look like one of the standout teams in the Canadian Premier League. I will say that much. I'm going to go for a double change here. We're going to bring in Jonathan Valet, and we're also going to bring in Pierre Lamotte. So the 2 centre-mids who haven't made an appearance yet in a live com, they're going to come in for us. 2 very, very kind of key players as part of our rotation. Let's see what they can do for us. 2 more of our new signings that we made. When I came to FC Edmonton, I've got to say I was really, really impressed with the overall balance of the squad. Obviously, we signed Osorio to play out on the left, and then we made the signings of Lamotte and Valet. And along with Diallo, those 4 players have really been the only signings we've made thus far. Anyway, they're on the attack here. We're yet to have a clean sheet in the league. I would love to have one here, but it might be hard going as the ball is played across here to Ledgerwood, who hits it. I want to believe that Connor James had that covered over the crossbar. It looked like he just about had it in the bag. So we're 3 goals up with 10 minutes left. Normally I'd be relaxing, but Cavalry are a team who are capable of, scoring a few. They've looked pretty good on the attack. And equally, I don't feel like I'm fully in the know as to the exact mentality of my players just yet. Sometimes in Football Manager it feels like you have perennial bottlers. We've not really been in kind of a chance yet to do that. So that's pretty good, I guess. Tommy Amiobi's not had the craziest of games. Neither has Osorio out on the left. So we're going to take him off. It's going to be another chance for Bruno Zebi to come back into the team. Of course, we're training him to play left midfield, because I do need a bit of a more backup there. And, well, just an opportunity to give him 10 minutes, give him a little bit of a run out here. Escalante to take a set piece for Cavalry. We won our first game of the season 3-1. I don't want to concede again like we did in that game at 3 goals to the good. Cavalry yet to have a shot on target, and in fact it looks like the entire game is going to go that way. We've been pretty dominant here. We've had 65% of the ball, which is absolutely crazy. And, well, we've just been very, very clinical in front of goal, taking the half chances that came our way. I think that Mortozzi goal was the pick of the bunch. And, well, we win the first ever Canadian Premier League Al Classico. You can see here, we are now top of the league, but we've played 3 games, whereas York, they're yet to play yet, and Forge have only played 1. Obviously, when you have 7 teams in a division, it can sometimes be tricky when it comes to scheduling the teams to play at semi-normal times, I guess. But anyway, that's only the first game of today's episode gone. We're going to be taking on Valor FC again. Of course, we played them on the opening day of the season. We beat them 3-1. They're going to be looking for a little bit of revenge. Right now, they do sit second in the league. But, well, that game is in a week, so we're going to hop forward to that. And I think it might be an opportunity for a little bit more rotation and maybe a chance to give a few more of the players in our first team a chance to shine on the commentary, or rather the commentated match stage, I guess. Okay guys, so here we are. We've got another mid-week kickoff. It's against Valor FC. It's at home. It's a game that I feel like we're probably favourites going into. You can just see, looking at the league table here, Valor have now played a 4th game of the season. They have pulled ahead of us by 1 point. A win here could reinstate us back at the top of the table. And, well, in terms of team selection for today's game, a little bit of rotation going to be done. We're going to bring in Bruno Zebi to start out on the left wing. His brother as well is going to play for us, Alan. He's going to be playing the defensive midfielder position. Now, he's an unfortunate player in the sense that he's a very, very good fullback. He's one of the few good fullbacks at the club when I took over. And as a result of us not playing them, he's going to be becoming kind of a ball-winning midfielder for us. I feel like that is the role that I can see him really doing for us in this system. And despite his relatively average aggression, in fact, it's pretty poor, isn't it? It's 3 out of 20. Everything else about him makes me feel like he can be an exceptional little ball-winning midfielder for us. So he's going to play there. It's going to take him a little while to find his feet. But we've also got Didic playing at right centre-back. Son is going to play at centre-mid for us. And up top, Tommy Amiobi is going to go down to the bench. We're going to keep Diallo in, and we're going to bring in Sakaria to play in this game. Of course, he played first game of the season, and he did pretty well. He's got a goal and an assist so far. We'll hope for more of the same from him here today. But yes, Valor FC, they're a good little team. They're right up there in the league for a reason. In terms of their players to keep an eye out on, I feel like Bustos is a pretty good player out on the left. Out on the right, they've also got Petrasso, of course. And they've also got this guy's name, who I'm going to definitely butcher, but we'll go with Berland Goyet, who is a really, really good centre-mid. Jeez, I did not realise how good he is. So, yeah, they've got quality. This is going to be tricky for us. We'll hope that Diallo can continue to add to his goal scoring. And, well, let's get into this, shall we? Of course, Valor FC, a team that we've already played. One thing that is definitely going to be a factor with this series is the fact that there are only 7 Canadian Premier League teams. So there are 6 teams that we are going to play on a consistent basis. I feel like it's going to be quite easy for you and I to become relatively familiar with all the different players on each team. We should get a pretty good feel for the teams we're coming up against. We'll be able to spot some of the transfers they make, maybe identify some of their players that we would like to sign. And, well, we'll see how we get on here. We're at home. We're unbeaten at home thus far. Let's try and keep it going, shall we? That's the task at hand. A bit of a battle in the midfield going on here. We actually get it clear. It's Sakaria, clean for on goal. What can he do? Oh, my gosh, what a lovely finish. Ramon Soria, known for his passing ability. Can we discuss that assist? That is a dirty, dirty ball by the centre-back. It kind of falls to him here. And he just puts his foot through it. He plays it over, perfectly weighted. Sakaria breaks through onto it, of course. Coming into the team ahead of Tommy Amiobi today, Sakaria. And finding the back of the net there, the number 9. A finish that any number 9 in world football would be proud of. We'll hope that is the start of things to come here. Of course, with this series, I want us to challenge in the Canadian Premier League this year. With the spring and autumn season and the winner of each half of the season going into the final, we can do fantastic in the league, but you get nothing for winning the league. You have to win the playoffs over 2 legs. As Sakaria gets a very kind rebound. It was Son with the initial effort. 3rd goal of the season for him. We are in cruise control, a quick double, and Sakaria on for the first hat-trick. In Edmonton, or FC Edmonton. Nearly got myself there, but FC Edmonton history in playing in a Canadian professional league. Lovely goal. But yeah, with the league, especially if we could do well in the first opening spring season of 10 games, one thing that I would love to be in a situation to do then is rotate the team for the autumn season. We could use that 18-match second half of the year just to improve the team, just to, play youngsters, give them a chance, really develop a team. Whilst also, of course, if we can do well in the opening split, oh my God, what a goal. Mohamed Diallo, you've just dinked the keeper, son. Didic with the assist this time. It's another big long ball down the middle. Trying to hit them on the break, using that pace of our attackers. It's a lovely ball. Diallo's run is nice. It's abysmal defending, but that finish is filth. That is dirty. He loves it. I love it. We all love it. 3 goals to the good here, and looking pretty solid thus far. We got 3 goals against Valor FC. We're going to be looking for more, though. Bustos with space out wide. And a clear-cut opportunity to them that has been squandered. That was Connor James with the save. Great stop by the keeper. Did it just picked up a booking? We'll have to keep an eye on that, maybe. I always feel like when you join a club, there's that big pressure to find the goal scorers, the players who you're going to turn to game in and out, and they're going to always get goals for it. Yeah, I think we've got 2 of those players in Sarkaria and Diallo if the opening few games are anything to go off. We'll tell Didic just to ease out of tackles. We don't want to concede before half-time here. Although Valor, with the corner, it's not fully cleared. Ball back into the mixer. Can we deal with it? Diallo, no nonsense, puts it out into touch. Looks like at half-time it's going to be 3-0. Every time I've live-commed so far, things have just gone great for us. It's been a little bit bizarre. I'm going to tell the players I'm very happy, of course. You can see here, obviously, with the rotation, a few players getting a chance to shine and maybe not doing the most of that opportunity. Sarkari has done fantastic, but I'm looking at the likes of Zebi and Son. I guess Didic has done pretty well on off the bench. He's kept a clean sheet as a centre-back and got an assist. Not sure what more I could expect from him. But in the midfield, I would like to see a slightly better performance in this half if we could have one. That would be good. Diallo here to Zebi. To Lincourt Joseph. Back wide to Kareem Moses here. Diallo crosses in. Sarkaria, of course, hunting out that hat-trick. A 2-on-2 situation here, though. Hoyle switches the play to Sacramento. Crosses it back into Hoyle. That is a really nicely worked goal by Valor FC. What an exquisite counter-attack that is. I'm almost a little bit envious of how nice that goal was. Hoyle with the initial ball through. He continues on his run. Sacramento, you think maybe he's a bit too wide. But it's a super intelligent ball across to the back post, and the finish at the end of it was really nice too. And, 3-1 is how it finished last time against Valor FC. We'll hope that, it isn't a repeat of that this time. Zebi tries to get the ball forward. It's read well, although Son picks it up. Diallo. Runner off to his left. Is that Lincourt Joseph? I think it is. Diallo's going on his own. He's going, Mohamed Diallo, have the keys to the city, mate. 5th goal of the season for him. Can we discuss this goal? He picks it up just inside their half. He skirts between 2 players. He makes a run. To be fair, the runs ahead of him create space for him to move into. But the finish at the end of it is superb. Son picks up an assist. That's what we want to see. I think with 52 minutes gone, we can afford to make some changes. I'm going to bring in Lamotte for Lincourt Joseph. I'm not going to take off either of our strikers because they're both on hat-tricks. You can see here just a lot of the players on the bench, players we've taken out. Zebi's not had the greatest game on the left, so I'll bring back in Osorio for him. Osorio kind of been our nailed-on left winger. He'll have more of a chance here. The thing is with this game, right, we've had 3 clear-cut chances. They've had 2. Yes, we've had more shots in total. But it's just how clinical we're being, which has really been a difference maker so far. Soria wins the header there. Of course, a win here as well. Very, very good for the head-to-head table that we have with Valor and Forge, where whoever has the best record out of the 3 teams this season, this summer, will go into the North American League. That is worth considering. This was a big game for us, and we've come through this test with flying colours. It's got to be said. 4-1. Goals do not seem to be an issue for us. Can we add a few more? Lamotte plays through Sarkaria. He's clean through. Can he finish it? No. That was saved by the keeper. I thought for a second it hadn't received a touch off a defender, and that would have been an appalling effort if that had been the case. Ball falls here to Alan Zebi. Gives it to Didic. Back with Osorio, who, well, does nothing with it, and the highlight just ends, doesn't it? I'm just wondering if I want to make any further changes. I mean, we've got one last sub. Who would I bring on if I was going to bring someone on? I'd probably bring in Valet for Son Chan. I'll tell you what, let's do that. Son's, he's been okay, but there's no reason not to rotate things around occasionally. Lewis, unfortunately for them, is about to get sent off. So things going from bad to worse for Valor FC here. It's a red card for the player who we identified potentially as their key man. But, well, that's fine, isn't it, as far as we're concerned. If we could get a few more off the back of that, it would be nice. At 4-1 up, though, I really don't have much in the way of grounds to complain, do I? We've been top draw today. We've been clinical with the opportunities that have come our way. It's been a good team performance by the entire team, and it's great to see Diallo this episode really shine in. But also, Sarkaria didn't play at all last game. Comes into this match, grabs a brace, really sets us on our way. And, well, Sacramento scored to make it 4-2. It's probably a little too late for the Valor comeback, but it does take a little bit of the gleam off this result, doesn't it? Ball whipped to the back post. Hoyle again involved in the play. He laid it back to Petrasso, who, well, crossed the ball in. Header was missed by, I think that's Didic there. Is it Didic? It is. And, well, Valor, grab a second. We're not impenetrable at the back. There is definitely room for improvement in that regard. The 10 men of Valor do score. And I think that is going to be the last bit of action, really, for this game, barring Valet scoring a screamer. He's gone for it. Farago is more than up to the challenge, but we get a win. It's a good one. We go top of the league with that. It helps out our goal difference just a little bit. I feel like we really shone in the first half and we almost took our foot off the gas a little bit in the second. But make no mistake, that is a good little performance for us. Sees our record at the top of the league go to 3 wins and 1 defeat. And for me personally, Sarkaria was the surprise package in that game. As good as these opening performances have been, I do have one concern. And the concern is consistency. Because if I just flick through the teams, just look for this icon across our team. Because it's going to appear a lot. My concern is we're starting the season too well. And these players aren't going to be able to consistently play to this level. Don't get me wrong, there's 1 or 2 consistent players, but it is a trend in our team that we might not be able to maintain this form. I guess that's my challenge as manager to keep us focused in on that. In terms of when we'll be back, you can see we're even going to be taking on Blanville and Cavalry FC in the Canadian Championship second round. That is kind of the equivalent of the FA Cup. What I think we'll do is we'll play the first leg of that game and the game against Forge at home in the league, and we'll come back for the game away from home against Forge. It's going to be in a few games' time. We may, depending on how the Canadian Championship second round is going, do that as a double header again next episode. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll play it by ear. But I would like to get a few more games done this time. But that game against Forge that we do have in the meantime is going to be quite a big one. If we just look at the head-to-head league, you can see we are dominating it right now. The winner of this after the spring split, when we've played both Forge and Valor twice, whoever's top will go through. With the results we've had against Valor so far, we put ourselves in a fantastic position. And, well, the game against Forge next time out could prove pivotal in terms of securing some continental football for the summer, which would be kind of nice to look forward to, wouldn't it? Anyway, guys, next episode, we're going to talk about the staff setup, the scouting that I did during pre-season, a few other bits and pieces that I wanted to cover sooner, but they've just not really fitted into episodes thus far. I think we'll also have a little bit more of a look at our under-21s as well next time out, some of the better young players to keep an eye out for. And, well, hopefully you guys are going to be looking forward to it, and I will see you next time for that. If you have enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on the video. It is massively appreciated. Of course, if you are new to the channel, subscribe. You can find a series playlist down in the description. And, well, that is all from me. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.